Picture this, your boss just emailed you. Investors are walking in the door in just 15 minutes and he needs a complete P&L, a full financial report, a slideshow presentation, and a confirmation email right now. Impossible? Watch what happens when we hand the exact same email to Claude. All right, great to have you here. Claude just launched the Office 365 add-in, and that's going to allow us to keep a single persistent chat across multiple applications, including Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And today we're going to put this add-in to the test when we have it create multiple of those documents, including an Excel P&L, a presentation, a full report in Word, and an email reply. And that's exactly what our boss has asked us for, and we need it done right away. So he's asked us a complete financial report. He does want an Excel P&L. He also wants a presentation slideshow and a confirmation email summarizing it. So I've got this email, and I've also got the Claude application and add-in opened directly here in Excel. Now inside this Excel, we've got a transaction database, we have customer database, we have timesheet. So we've got a lot of data in here. And basically what I want to do is I want to send a single prompt using Excel. We're going to see how this works throughout the application. For this week's free download, I'll be including a complete instruction guide for you so you can follow along in a PDF. And I'm also adding on 50 different use cases, how you can use this add-in across all 4 apps. And so the prompt that I'm going to use is this: check my email from Marcus and get everything done, and don't stop until all 4 tasks are done. That's it. That's the prompt. So what it's going to do, it's going to go directly into my urgent email, and it's going to find it here. It's going to look directly for that, sees the Excel agent looking for the email. Now it's getting the context of the email, and now it's simply going to report back to the Excel agent. So let's take a look back at Excel, because that's where it's going to grab its data from. So it's now building out the steps. So it's got 4 different steps that it's set up: a P&L, a Word financial, a PowerPoint presentation, and a confirmation email. So it already understands the 4 important tasks that it must do right away. So it's going to now grab the data using a Python script to grab and create that P&L in Excel. Now that it's got all the data, it's created a brand new sheet, and it is this sheet that it's named Profit and Loss, or P&L report, and it's got the months. As we can see, it's already created the months. Once it puts all the data in, it's then going to format the report accordingly. Starting with the revenue, as it should. So all the revenue income on a per month basis, which is exactly what we've requested. It's got the total revenue completed so far. And now it's working on the cost of goods sold. It's now totaled that. And keep in mind, there is no VBA, no scripts. This is simply Claude doing its work in your workbook without you doing anything at all. It's determined the gross profit already. Once it adds in all the data, it will realign the columns and add the headers. And now it's focused on the operating expenses. So it's added each of the individual expenses on a per month basis. Now the total operating and the net profit are all in. It's going to add in the key metrics. Well, that's even better. And the key metrics are now in. So now it's simply a matter of formatting, assuming that it's done with all of the values. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so the P&L report is done. So now it's going to focus on task 2, which is the Word financial report. So it's keeping track. It's got the key numbers. Everything's looking good. Oh, I see it's already moved to PowerPoint now. Okay, great. So now it's on PowerPoint, and it says it's going to build this deck starting with a theme and then 1 slide at a time. So we're going to watch it. All right, it looks like it's got a nice theme. It's going with this navy theme, and now it'll focus on the title. So it's calculating each step. In step 2, it's going to focus on slide 1. We've got prepared for Marcus Reynolds, which is our boss, prepared by Fred Fredders. I guess that's me. And it's got May 12th, which actually is the current date. So now it's building the executive summary. As we can see, it says, I'll use title only layout and build custom shapes for a year-to-date revenue call out and inside bullets. So it's already making its own plan of exactly what it's going to do. It looks pretty good. If we switch over, we take a look at this slide, we see we've already got the year-to-date revenue. We've got the key business highlights, so it's looking quite good. He says gross profit and net profit year-to-date are negative, so it doesn't want to show those. So it's going to look for a positive looking call-out boxes would mislead investors, so they want to frame it in a positive light, which is quite nice. All right, we've got the 4th slide down. We've got a monthly revenue versus net profit. We've got the year-to-date revenue. Year-to-date gross profit, not so good, and net profit, not so good with my sample data. Maybe the investors will get a good price on this. All right, it's working on its 4th slide. We can take a look. We've got the customer sales. Now it's got filling out that fifth slide, which is kind of helpful. Invoice sales, customer concentration, active pipeline. Now it's got information for the sixth slide. We can take a look. We've got SKUs, we've got units in stock, low stock items flag, inventory value, nice. Average product margin, very nice. Takeaway, a 52% product margin on 11 inventory positions. So it's really good. It's got a nice, beautiful deck that's doing all by itself. I'm doing nothing except narrating. And it's working on the sixth slide now. I'm impressed. I'm watching it and I'm just impressed. I'm very impressed. This changes everything. Growth outlook, January to December. We've got diversification, cost discipline. So really good information for investors here. And it's asking if it can delete orphan slides. So we're going to give it permission. So we're just going to say allow once. And so we'll give it permission. So I think it removed a slide. It's editing it up. So there was a contrast issue, I guess. Okay, so now we're good to go. So it's getting a visual on it. It's making sure not only does it add in work, but it checks to work to make sure that it looks right and it has the correct values. So I really like the ability for it to check and evaluate itself. So it can see that the gold rule cuts through the slide. So it's going to make adjustments on the positioning of some of the elements inside the slides. And sometimes it does ask for permission. So you can say always allow or just this time, but I want to show you that it does ask. So I'm just putting just this time so that you can actually see how it's working. Okay, so all 6 slides are clean. It's reporting back to Excel. So now we're going to move back to Excel. So it's saying the PowerPoint is done. So it says a part of the app failed to load, a new version was deployed. You must reload to continue. Okay, so we'll just refresh that. Checking back on Excel, it says PowerPoint is done. The Word agent reconnected, so it's back on Word, and it's working on our financial report. So we can watch it work, which is quite nice. So now we've got a Word financial report. So it's formatting the paragraphs, and it's creating a nice report. We'll take a look at it when it's done. All right, so it's adding in the revenue, gross profit, operating expenses. So now it's into a detailed Word report. Let's see what it's created so far. We've got key highlights. We've got information and tables inside there. That's looking pretty nice. Cost of goods sold, gross profit, operating expenses, profit and loss, key metrics. So everything in the P&L is now in here, top customers. And now it's going to focus on the inventory, which is also part of our Excel. So if we take a look here inside Excel version, the products database does contain inventory. So we wanted to look on that as well. And that's exactly what it's working on inside our Word. So it says all 11 sections are in. Now it's going to verify the document looks good visually. So it's actually checking its work. Okay, it says looking at the document, it found 2 problems. So there's a duplicate revenue and the number formatting glitches. So it's actually sees some issues that it did, and it is fixing those issues. And we're basically going to allow it to clear duplicate sections inside the Word document. So I like the ability that it can see its mistakes and it can fix them even before I find them. If I find them, which I probably wouldn't. So it's got a summary of everything it did in the Word report. It's cleaned it up. Let's take a look in Excel and see if it's continued over here. So all 3 deliverables done. Now sending the confirmation email to Marcus. So we're good on that. And let's go ahead and take a look inside here, chat. So now it's focused back inside Outlook here. It's going to create an email, a summary email. It's got the text already. It's going to report back to the Excel agent that it's got the text. And we can click open. Here we have it. Here's our email that it's created for Marcus. Everything's prepared and ready for your investor. So let's go ahead and review. The email is done, so that task is done. We have a profit and loss. Let's pull that up. That was the first thing it did, the P&L report. Quite nicely done here. It did all of that. Then, of course, it created a presentation. It created a really nice presentation that we have for the company on 6 different slides. Then it created a comprehensive Word document here, a financial report. So that is a 6-page report. Also very well done. And of course, the email. Pretty amazing that Claude could handle all of that from one prompt and one email. We've just seen proof how impressive Claude Office 365 add-in for all 4 of these apps. But how do you get them in Excel and Outlook, PowerPoint, and Word? Well, let me just show you. Inside, of course, if you're in Excel, you can double click the home or any tab you're on, and that's going to display it. Now, I've got it here at Claude, but you might not have it. You can click the add-ins here if you have it. It's also going to be in the developer under add-ins here. Either one is going to get you there. Once you're inside the add-ins, you'll notice that you'll have a little bit of a search, but you want to click something like, let's go ahead and bring it over here. What you'll want to do is you want to click more add-ins. and then it's going to launch a screen, and you go into the store and you're just going to search for Claude. There might be several, but what you're looking for is the Claude for Microsoft 365. That's the one you want. Once you get that installed, it will be available to you in Excel. So what about Word? Inside Word, once again, we're going to display the Home tab. It is going to be here just like we did. We're going to click on the add-ins here, and we're going to go to more add-ins if you don't have it installed, and pretty much the same thing inside the store, and we're going to search for that. And how about PowerPoint? Inside PowerPoint, once again, add-ins also the same thing. You can search here. If it doesn't come up, you can click the more add-ins. I did find Outlook a little bit different. So inside, of course, we're using the new Outlook in this case, and we see that we have an inbox here, and also we have something called more apps. Now keep that in mind that if it doesn't show here, like you might have trouble finding it. So if you're going to look, make sure you just click get add-ins. And that is going to then show the ability to have more search capability, and you have Claude for Outlook. Okay, Claude for Outlook is the one that you want to use, and that's the one that's already installed. So Claude for Outlook, it is still in beta, the one for Outlook, but it's been working fine for me. Once you have all 4 add-ins installed for each one of your Office applications, you're going to want to go into the chat, and of course, make sure you do sign up with Claude and just choose the cheapest paid plan, and that's the best way to get it. Inside the settings here of any one of them or all of them, go into there and you want to make sure that you put let Claude work across files. So this option must be turned on, and make sure that your Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and Outlook are all open and installed, and you want to make sure that the add-in is visible. So let Claude work across files is essential. That's going to basically tell it to communicate with all the apps, and you just want to double check that in all of them. Once you have that set up, you are good to go. And so that's how you get the add-ins in all 4. Of course, if you do love Excel and you love AI, there is no better way to combine it, especially with the power of Claude, than grabbing my AI tool pack for Excel. I put a lot of hard work and 12 different AI features into that. And if you use Claude or you don't use Claude, regardless, the AI assistant is going to help you with chat. You'll have the fix my formula, can fix any formula. You can explain any formula simply by selecting on it. You also have the ability to optimize formula. And when it comes to VBA code, you can have it write VBA code, fix VBA code, and even optimize it. We also have the ability to get fake data, all the data inside this workbook. I use the get fake data. It's very easy. All you need to do is just click here, and you can save templates, and you can then select from a template, and then you can have the data entered very, very simply. And we also have some really cool functions. That's the AI tool pack with 12 functions, and I'll include the link down below. This was really great training. We showed Claude's new feature, its ability to have a single purpose and a single chat among the 4 big ones: Outlook, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, doing a ton of work on its own with a single prompt and a single email instructions. I hope you have enjoyed this training just as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm going to include a really great download for you, and that's going to include all the sample data, include all the prompts that I've used, the emails, plus I'm going to be including the PowerPoint presentation, the profit and loss, and of course the Word report that we're going to be generating for this video. So make sure you do grab the download. If you're on YouTube, check for the word download in the description. There's a link under that. And if you're on my website, look for the download word button, and I'll make sure to get this free download to you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.